Good morning, sixth graders. Welcome to English. We have the next chapter we're heading to, which is chapter 11. We are on page 197. So this is page 197 of your book. And again, you'll need to do the assignment in your book first on the page and transfer your answers over into the computer. So again, when we're going through these, this is what we're setting up the premise of writing in present, past, and past tense is of your writing. So every verb has three basic forms. These are called the principal parts of the verb. The first principal part is called the present tense. The second principal part is called the past tense. And then the third principal part is called the past participle. The past participle is used when forming a helping verb. This is the key part, the helping verb. So you'll notice in the box over here, there's a selection of helping verbs, which we covered earlier when we talked about verbs. All right? Notice in the past tense always usually has ed associated with it. In this case, when we have the word study, notice we changed the y to I and added ed. That's the past tense, speaking in the past. Present tense, you don't see an ed, and present in future tense, you would have the word will, which we haven't covered too much yet, but he will walk to the store. That's the future tense. So, but we're not getting into that quite yet. But anyway, you'll learn how to use these principal parts. For most verbs, the second and third principal parts are just alike, usually ending in ed. I just said that. We call these verbs, we call them regular verbs. They're easy to learn and easy to see how they're used. Okay, now let's slide this up. Some verbs form principal parts for past and past participles. Forms in some other ways. We call these verbs irregular verbs. So in other words, if you take a look, we have irregular verbs here coming in because we'd say run. We wouldn't say run in the past tense. We say ran. That's why they're called irregular, because you have it's the way the verb has a different wording to it. Build, if you said it in past tense, you'd say built. We wouldn't say builded. We wouldn't say runded. We would not add the ed. They have a different wording for it. Throw, threw, draw, drew, sing, sang, ride, rode, drive, drove, give, gave. You can see there's a multitude of words, and there's more than that. That's just the tip of the iceberg. All right, so learning the principal parts of irregular verbs is necessary to avoid making mistakes. So, past participle, we have ran. Past participle, we use the word run, and we have a helping verb with it. Has run, has ran, has run. Have run, had run. Has built, had built. Has, have, or had thrown. Notice what we did here. We have throw, threw, and then we have thrown. But if you use thrown, you have to have a helping verb. If you have drawn, you have to have a helping verb. And so forth. You can see how the whole process goes through. Ride, rode, ridden. Has to have a helping verb. All right, now let's kind of slide this up, and we'll walk through the guided practice a little bit with you. And again, call me if you have issues, because I know English is not the easiest always. All right, now we have it set up here where we have fill in the missing principal part of the regular verb. And I'll have this set up on the computer like I always do. And so you will have to in there, and I will give you a blank probably to fill in. All right, so starting off, we have the word in this case, and before I go any further, in here on the past participles, which I need to come back to here, I almost forgot to say it. There are additional words in these that can use ed with a helping verb. Now you need to understand that there are other words, and that's the complexity of the English language and teaching it as well, that there are exceptions to that. So let's go ahead and look at the first one. We have fill in the missing principal parts of the regular verbs in the chart. So we have talk being present tense. All right, the next one, past tense, we have talked. That's pretty easy. We have ed. Now there isn't any talking. You don't say talking. That's taken. So we're not if we wouldn't start turn around to add K in and say talking. There is no such word. So what we have when we have this case, we have the past participle joining, which is have talked. If I write it out correctly. So notice we still have the ed attached with it. All right, going to the second one. Number 2, we have cry, and then so is the first word. Now notice we have in here have cried, but the past tense, since we have notice the ed is going to be just cried. Next one we have in here, we have pick, so the present tense must be pick. Okay, we're taking a look at that. We have picked. So these are regular verbs, all of them. Okay, now we have turn, and then we have the past tense turned. And again we have turned. Now again, if you remember up above where the irregular verbs, something changed in the past participle when they were dealing with irregular verbs. Number 5, open. And we have opened, O-P-E-N-E-D, and have opened. And here we have called, where the root word or the base word is call for present tense. Past participle have called. Okay, so there's kind of the chart how it's filled out. What I'd end up doing is probably having you list. I would devise something where you would give me the past tense when we're doing this exercise on the computer, as well as on the next page when you're actually doing it in the book first. Okay, I would probably set it up where I would say, I would give you the directions, list the past tense first, and the past participles. Sorry about that. I had Cassie pause it because I had to sneeze, and I wasn't sneezing very well there. All right, now, so here it is. We have that completed on that section. Now, let's go ahead, and what you're going to do again, how it's going to work, is if you look at the exercise, I'm going to read through the directions on the exercise, page 198. It says, mark an X in the chart, identify which principal part of the main verb uses. All right, so you're going to identify present, past, or past participle. That's going to be in the shape of a multiple choice answer when you go to select it. That'll be 1 through 12. On the second part, beside each set of principal parts below, write R if the verb is regular, or I if it's irregular. So you're going to, again, multiple choice. The choice will be I or R. So again, I'm kind of walking through that. But here's what my biggest concern is, 6th graders. And that is, if you don't call me, I cannot help you. If you call me, I can help you. But that's really becoming kind of a little bit of a frustration for me, because some of you are hurting yourself, hurting your grades by not letting me help you. So please, let me help you. Give a call on the chat section in the afternoon. We'll go through it. So anyway, those of you that are asking questions, good job. Keep it up. Please do. All right, so that'll do her. And like I said, we will just make sure you understand. And if you have questions of it, if you don't, call. Have a good day.